This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by NewHampshireFreePress.com, the libertarian paper cranking out great news and opinion since early 2006.
While we wait for Dan Itz's bill to be heard, a quick look at the huge crowd.
We just gathered to hear a bill related to the use of pesticides near children, such as playgrounds and schools, that sort of thing.
That's the hearing that's drawing the big crowd today, along with a hearing which would possibly establish a commission that examines Native American affairs in the state. I'm standing here with Peter Newell, who is chief of
New Hampshire Intertribal Native American Council.
Oh, okay, and you are here to speak in favor of a bill which would establish a commission to look into, I guess, Indian affairs, or I should probably say Native affairs in New Hampshire. And how did you feel like the committee responded to your desires?
I think they responded very well, and they saw the commitment that we have to this, because right now New Hampshire is probably one of the only states in all of New England that does not have an Indian Council or a Native American Council. All the other states, Maine, Vermont has one that, for all intents and purposes, is a commission, but it's kind of a rough-running commission. We're trying to get our commission going and get it running smoothly. We want to, and it's one that we want to involve all Native people in the state. And you heard a lot about Abenakis, because Abenakis were the original first people here in New Hampshire. And yes, we're trying to let people recognize that Abenakis are here still, and were here before, but there are numerous tribes, numerous people that have, from other tribes that have moved into New Hampshire and live here and call New Hampshire home, and there are over 500 tribes in the whole United States or North America, and a good percentage of them live here. People live here, so we need to make it so that these people in this state have some representation. A lot of people in this, and like I was saying to them, a lot of people here don't even realize there's still Indians around. And these are educated people that don't know this.
What is the power of the commission exactly, though? Basically,
we are a commission right now that is there for informational purposes. Okay, if you call the governor's office now, like I said in there, they will send you to the Mount Kearsarge Indian Museum. Mm-hmm. Well, like I said there, that's hardly the hub of Native America in New Hampshire. Okay, the hub is out in the country itself. I mean, there are lots of people and groups and stuff out there that are Native.
Considering all the bad things, though, that seem to have come out of the Bureau of Indian Affairs and other government agencies, are you sure that it's necessarily going to be a good thing to have a commission that's sort of possibly meddling in your affairs?
Well, no, the commission is something that's not there to meddle. Okay.
How do you know it won't be used that way later?
Because, see, one of the things that they were talking about, that the people and the representatives, they were saying, well, geez, on here it says that we want 7 Native people on that commission. They said, well, can't we have 2 otherwise people? People that have nothing to do with it but could offer something. Our idea is we want Native people, because we figure that Native people know about Native people, and they're the people that are going to make these things for the Native people, and are going to be able to reach out to the Native people. Mm-hmm. If we put 2 other people on there, that's going to take away from our commission, and that's an area of 2 people that's not going to have the contact with the Native community.
Did you have any sense, though, that it could increase taxpayer expenditures to have the commission?
It shouldn't. Okay, it shouldn't, because number one, we're not asking for any money. Okay, we are going to be self-supporting, all right? And we don't, again, like Paul Pouliot said when he got up there, number one, we're not going to have cards. We're not going to have stationery. We're not going to have stamps. It's all going to come out of our pockets, okay? Or whatever money we can find. What's going to happen, though, and I don't know if you heard one lady that got up there, this should be a boom to the state. Why? Because there is money out there, grants, money that can be gotten, and some big sums of money.
There's
federal money.
But is that
for
right?
native?
I mean, is it right to accept federal money?
Well, see, now we won't be accepting the money, but the federal government, I mean, the state government is going to say, hey, we have these native things going on. You can, like the schools, okay?
But isn't that dangerous, though, to have federal involvement in anyone's life? I mean, you know.
Well, of course it is, you know. But if we can get the school system a little extra money, just by our name,
no child left behind. I mean, that didn't work out too well.
No, but I'll tell you, if you do some investigation on ICWA, Indian Child Welfare Act, you'll see no child is left behind. And that's one of the things that's big on our group. When we have people that are that's their specialty. What happens is, if you have a kid that's an orphan, and he's native, whatever tribe he comes from, and that's what the federal government says, whatever tribe he comes from has to be alerted to take this kid and bring it back into that tradition, okay, that tribal tradition. What happens in New Hampshire? Because we have no recognized tribes, well, our woman that's doing this has been recognized by the state to make the decision whether these children are Abenaki children or not, okay? And in this group, we have people that are standing by that are Abenaki families that can take this Abenaki kid. Okay, so in reality, where Abenakis in New Hampshire were falling through the holes in the floor, they're now covered. And why are they covered? Because of our group. Okay, and these are some of the things that we can pull through. Right now, you cannot. I know I'm Indian. I don't have blood quantum percentage. My dad is on the tribal rolls for the Penobscot people, but I cannot make jewelry. I cannot make stuff and say that it is Indian made because I don't have a card number. Right now, the thing for selling Indian goods, you have to have a tribal card number to sell those goods.
To identify it as native made.
As native made.
My God.
Okay? I can't say, I have Indian heritage, and I can prove I have Indian heritage.
Yeah.
I still can't sell that because of that.
The power to license is the power to destroy.
Yeah. So one of the things that we're trying to, I don't know, if you go down to St. Paul's Church, we have people down there, basket makers. And check out some of those baskets. They're made by Abenaki people, but they can't claim them as Indian made.
And that's why you need the commission.
Yes, to try to, because there are some things that you can work with the state that you can, and Vermont has done this, where you can allow these people to claim, as long as they can claim that this is in.
In fairness, none of us are really fully able to avoid using federal creations. For instance, I used images in this video which came from Washington's Army of Employees, and I more or less had to drive on a federal interstate to get to the State House to shoot it. Of course, through the gas tax and other taxes, I had to pay a bloated sum to get these things. It's just a reminder of how deep their fingers penetrate into all of our lives. But there's another concern I didn't think to mention regarding this sort of commission. Remember some of the places where political institutions are tied to ethnicity? This is some of the first video I've been able to recover from my dashes into Bosnia during the war. No, this won't happen here because of a little commission, but I'm not sure I'll ever buy the idea of a government discriminating on the basis of race. I've seen too much. I certainly do wish these folks well who were at the hearing. They are discriminated against right now because, for instance, if I wanted to go out and make crafts and call them Irish, British, American made, I could do that without a card. But they can't. They have to get a card to call their crafts Indian made. That's crazy. A card from the government. This is yet another problem that could be solved by that last-ditch controversial solution: New Hampshire independence.